the case question. So remember, case questions, they carry quite a lot of marks, 40 marks, and I need to get at least 30, And for you to be able to get that, always start by reading the requirement. So like now the requirement part A, we are told Kipenda Pesa ran a highly bureaucratic county government. Bureaucracy. Remember, the father of bureaucracy is known as Max Weber. Max Weber is the father of bureaucracy, right? And if you can remember, bureaucracy, ladies and gentlemen, is automatically characterized by what here? A lot of record keeping. It is characterized by strict rules and what here? Regulations. Bureaucracy, ladies and gentlemen, is associated with lengthy process of decision making. It is associated with the concept of, we don't look at the relationships that we have in this organization. All of us pledge our allegiance to the company. So if, for example, I've now taught you here, later on, we meet with you in government, of course, myself as the president, and then I've appointed you as a minister. If it's bureaucracy that is prevailing, ladies and gentlemen, if I happen to call you and tell you, Macharia K, you are my student, and here I've appointed you as a minister, I want 50 million Kenya shillings from your ministry. If it's bureaucracy as per Max Weber, you'll be able to tell me straight away that no, Mwalimu, of course, we have that relationship. We know each other, of course, even much earlier than here where we are. But given the bureaucracy, do we have rules? What do these rules say? The rules say that there must be, for example, something. There must be a requisition. Somebody must, so Mr. President, please requisition. In the requisition that you're putting in place, I would want to know the project that this particular 50 million will be financing. So you see now we are getting beyond relationships. We are getting beyond relationships to work. So when we talk of bureaucracy as per Max Weber, always remember the concept of what here, there are no personal relationships at the workplace, right? All of us, we are adhering to the rules and regulations, which are normally very strict, right? And if you remember Max Weber, he put forth the concept of Catholic Church. Catholic Church is one of those bureaucratic organizations that you'll find, right? Very strict. You know, Catholic, ladies and gentlemen, if you went to any Catholic, for example, mass, you can't just wake up from anywhere. You start, like, for example, singing whichever song, like most of these other churches here do. No, there is always a program, even if it's, for example, a barrio. When you get to a barrio and you realize that there is some routine being followed, you know straight away that Catholic iko kwa ground, ndio kwa site, right? Always you come, even it's a Catholic church, useme now today, what is the offering? What is the offertory amount? It's 5 million. And then as a priest, you say that you're going with that money to your home. No, there are procedures, there are processes, including the message that is being preached in any Catholic church. That message, of course, must come from a central place. So bureaucrats, there are rules, there are of course, they have their own misgivings, they have their own issues, but at the end of the day, they stand out. They stand out, and that is why they're able to do so many projects for the community. Ladies and gentlemen, if it were these churches, of course, I know here there must be a pastor, and don't feel bad about this. I don't feel bad about this if you are a pastor. We have these other churches, of course, owned by who? You get a pastor is a husband, and then we have also a smaller pastor here called the wife. So if the wife, for example, comes one Sunday and says, you know what, today is the birthday of my husband, not even your pastor, birthday of my husband. Myself, I'm going to contribute 2 million. And then you other guys, you have to raise another like 8 million for us to get. So at the end of the day, they will end up depleting coffers of who? Of the church, simply because there are no rules and what here, regulations like that. So if you'd want to start businesses that will be able to stay with us for a longer time, longevity, a longer time, and ensure that as much as bureaucracy is not good, but there must be those procedures, the processes that will need to be followed, which you have to put in place and ensure that they are respected. So this concept of, this was a very good story. A very good story, very good story. Kipenda Pesa ran a highly bureaucratic county government. With reference to the above statement, evaluate 6 drawbacks of bureaucracy that could have contributed to the ills at XYZ County. Kipenda Pesa's wife wields a lot of power, and the county employees follow her orders unquestionably, meaning that she has what we call coercive power. You're coercing people, right? Coercive power, all right? You're ruling people through what here? Threats, intimidation, coercive power. And you have everybody taking your instructions unquestionably. Nobody can, of course, there is nobody who is a saint. I mean, we make mistakes, all of us. Would want at times when we are giving instructions through our leadership forums, would want in this case somebody to come and tell us where you are a leader, but here you are wrong. The king is naked. So they want us, ladies and gentlemen, there to identify Kipenda Pesa's wife, source of power, discuss 6 advantages of use of power identified in B1 above with respect to the county government. What disadvantages do we have regarding this coercive power? Now, ladies and gentlemen, remember, there is no way you will tell us that you have got monopoly over knowledge. It's always great for you to involve others in running of the business. When you as an owner of a business, or for example, a senior manager in a county government here, you would want to always have your way, then automatically you are stifling all creativities, innovativeness of employees, which they would have given you. So you'll be running this particular organization through one angle. You're seeing everything. Your lens is only seeing one angle. And yet, ladies and gentlemen, for us to be able to survive in these businesses, we need to be seeing so many things. So many things. We need to be creative. So the moment in this case, ladies and gentlemen, you're using this coercive power, then there won't be anything to do with innovation. If you're using this power, right, coercive power to rule, you are doing a lot of injustice to anything to do with what we call succession planning. I mean, you're not grooming leaders who may take after you, so that if you die today, then your business also dies. So there are so many disadvantages of this coercive power. If, for example, you're using coercive power, there'll be issues to do with what your internal controls. Internal controls will not be followed here, because all you need to do as the governor's wife is to come and say, hey, I want 50 million. And the people will come, because nobody will question you. People will bring you the money. So at the end of the day, all these ills that you are seeing here, in this case, this was a very good case, ladies and gentlemen, were brought because of what this upper-handedness, high-handedness of the governor's wife. Because, I mean, the moment you become, remember, corporate governance does not want any individual who will have powers that cannot be questioned. That is why under corporate governance, we are told that the roles of the chairman vis-a-vis the roles of the CEO should be strictly put down, and they should be executed by different individuals. The chairman should basically oversee the boardroom. He should be the one who is charged with the responsibility of ensuring that board members are able to speak out. Whatever they speak out is minuted, right? Of course, it is minuted when automatically it becomes what we call a resolution. And of course, he's the one who is charged with the responsibility of ensuring that whatever is decided by the board is implemented by this guy. Now, this guy is the one who is running the secretariat. Is the one in this case here who is doing the day-to-day management of the business. So once you have like now the 2 roles put into one person, now who has got excess powers, the coercive power, so that whenever he walks, people think that this is a small god. If that happens, ladies and gentlemen, then automatically you don't have an organization. So the companies that you guys work for, if you try to reflect a little bit, What kind of managers do you have in your companies? Do you have managers who are dictators? Is anybody who is working with a CEO here who is a dictator, who will always have his way? If he says this thing has to be cut this way, even if it is wrong, you can't correct him. Is there somebody who has that kind of a leader? Is there somebody who has this kind of a, how? Yes, I'm recording. Ah, great. I'm recording, great. Is anybody here who has got a dictator for a leader? Things will never fly in organizations with managers, ladies and gentlemen, who are what are dictators. Things will never move well. We need, in this case here, to use this concept of what are bottom up, where we involve everybody in the organization is important. Everybody has got something to contribute. Trust you me, most of these managers, especially who are dictators, they know nothing basically about these organizations. You'll get somebody who is a low level, low cadre employee. For example, this guy could be a cleaner. But because of the association, they have been in this organization, in this case here, for so long. These are the guys, if you put them close to your management, get to hear them, they know those levers that you can touch for this company to move forward. They know what is bedeviling this organization. They know. They'll know that if, for example, this and this is done, there won't be any theft in this organization. So involve especially these junior employees, and ensure that you are involving them and ensure that you are able to listen to them. So, ladies and gentlemen, now I'm reading this question very fast. No, still we have C. Many small-scale suppliers close down their businesses or have seen their businesses auctioned due to failure of XYZ county to clear their pending bills. Explain 2 external environment factors or aspects that might have contributed to the closure of businesses in XYZ county. So when they talk of external factors, you always think about Pestel. You always think about Pestel, isn't it? Pestel. You always think about Pestel. Pestel. Yes, Moru, Pestel. So we have in this case here political factors. Like now this county government for sure is affecting who? Is affecting operations of the businesses in this county. You can imagine somebody who has just supplied you goods worth 10 million and you're not able to pay these guys. So wrong political decisions making businesses to do what you're to die. Wrong decisions where you have in this case here a whole county government getting over 10 billion Kenyan shillings every year, and yet they just make a policy like we are not going to pay pending bills. Poor political decisions affecting businesses. Economic variables, how do these economic variables affect businesses? We are looking at things like interest rates, which of course county government will not be able to have a say, right? We are looking at things like inflation. These financial variables, how are they affecting these businesses? So there are so many things like now technology. We have in this case here like legal, like you can imagine. Most of the suppliers who have taken county governments to court. A single court case may take 10 years and they are very expensive, especially when you take a county government to court. You expect them to hire one of the very best lawyers. So for you to be able to match them, you must also bring on board an expensive lawyer. So this automatically will hit into your struggling profits, given that the county government is owing you the bad debts to be written off at the end of the day. So there are very many factors that you guys would have spoken about, which I believe that you wouldn't have really missed points there. So explain 2 external factors that I've already seen that state BD's leadership style. Examine 5 qualities of the leadership style stated in D1 above. So once I've read all the questions and I've tried even to jot a few points down, I should now be able to contextualize the questions in the case now. Look at now these questions from the case itself. So I'm going to read very fast. Here. We are told in a week's time. After the conclusion of the general elections, Baridi Joto, popularly known as BD, will be declared as governor-elect of XYZ county by the electoral body since he was unopposed. He is the only gubernatorial candidate unopposed in the country. BD Baridi Jotto will be taking over the leadership of XYZ County at a time when nothing seems to work at the county. The county has been greatly mismanaged by the outgoing governor, Kipenda Pesa, with his team. The population, especially in the two major towns of XYZ County, Kipeo and Macau, has been declining at an alarming rate as many people have been migrating to other towns outside XYZ County in search of better prospects. Kipenda Pesa's government has been highly bureaucratic and incompetent. His wife appears to wield more power than the governor, and she influences how the county government is run. County employees follow her orders, unquestionably, to avoid trouble. Several large-scale manufacturing plants in the county closed down, while others have relocated to the neighboring counties where the business environment is conducive. This has resulted in an increase in unemployment levels that further led to high crime rate in the county. High crime rate in the county. High crime rate in the county, of course, is among those factors, those external factors that could be affecting some of these businesses, yes. Many residents described Kipenda Pesa as a lame duck who could not make a decision without consulting his wife. As a result of the chronic bad decisions regarding the governance of XYZ County, the county is currently dysfunctional, and the county roads are dilapidated, and some business have closed down due to high cost of doing business. High cost of doing business. That automatically falls under the economic factors of this county are not good. Residents of XYZ County have become poorer under Kipenda Pesa's reign, meaning, ladies and gentlemen, that the residents here do not even have the purchasing power to procure goods coming from this manufacturing company. That is why they are closing down. So purchasing power falls under the economic factors. Okay. They're talking of a county, Lenny. County. Okay. So we are told, ladies and gentlemen, here, it is against this backdrop that Baridi Jotto, a renowned economist and a consultant with an international organization, was approached by some opinion leaders to contest the position of governor and rescue the county. All the aspirants who had been nominated by the respective political parties stepped down in BD's favor. BD has promised to offer visionary leadership. Visionary leadership. Attributes of a visionary leader. Visionary leadership in the county. Towards this cause, he has developed a manifesto that, if implemented, water shortages, bad and impassable roads, a lack of drugs in hospitals, children dropping out of schools, will be a thing of the past. He has promised to pay all the pending bills owed to XYZ County Supplies, which run into billions of shillings. Pending bills have really affected small-scale suppliers, especially those who had borrowed money from financial institutions on the strength of local purchase orders and local service orders issued by the county, and they're not able to honor. Many of them have closed down their businesses, while others have seen their businesses auctioned. Too bad. BD has promised to develop a county integrated development plan 6 months after he assumes office, which will address most of the social problems faced by the residents of the county. You can imagine this integrated development plan amongst its key pillars is involvement, what we call in this case here stakeholders participation. So when we are bringing these guys here to participate, then automatically we shall end up making high quality decisions. This will not be the style of basically this Kipenda Pesa's model and the wife, which was basically a one-man show. When he wanted any person to consult, he could not even consult within the county. He would go, in this case, straight out to the wife. And the wife was also another one at a different level, right? Even from the name itself, Kipenda Pesa, hakutaka mtu yoyote, karibu naye. So hapa tuko na integrated what year plan. We have an integrated plan. Okay, great. So we are told here, county staff are demotivated due to meager and delayed salaries. They have been bearing the brunt of extremely hard to ensure that various jokes from their peers in other counties, especially when they meet in county government forums. BD will have to work extremely hard to ensure that the county staff work as one united team in his endeavors to return the lost glory of the county. He has a daunting task of completing projects which were halfway abandoned by his predecessor due to inadequate budgetary allocation and the misuse of funds. BD inspires hope, and everyone in XYZ county, including children, are looking up to him to deliver them from many years of bad leadership. Now, as I read this great story, great in quotes, is there anybody who is able to relate this story with the county they are coming from? Anybody who is able to relate this story with the county that they are coming from? we shall overcome. Meru County currently, I don't know, mine, the previous regime was very greedy. Too bad, but we shall overcome. Now, Kipenda Pesa ran a highly bureaucratic county government. With reference to the above statement, evaluate 6 drawbacks of bureaucracy that could have contributed to the ills at XYZ county. So he ran a highly bureaucratic county government. Bureaucracy has also everything to do with what here? Dictatorship, right? Dictatorship. And that is why I mentioned, of course, we said Catholic has got rules and regulations. There must be an individual who is at the top there, who is very effective, and normally they are feared, right? So in this case here, what are some of the drawbacks? Could I kindly get now these answers from you? Could I kindly get these answers from you very fast? I would want us to discuss them at a high level because I have this solution which I would want to send to you immediately. There's a solution that I would want to send to you immediately after this. I'll send it to the paid group. I'll send this solution to the paid group. I will send this solution to the paid group. I have this solution that I would want to send. So we have here the paid group. Actually, I can even send it right now, so that we don't have to write too much. We don't want to write too much. Drawbacks of bureaucracy which could have contributed to the ills at XYZ. Now, ladies and gentlemen, whenever we have bureaucratic institutions, what do you know about, for example, them honoring their payments? There will be a lot of delays in terms of what here making payments. There'll be a lot of delays because of the paperwork involved, etc. There'll be a lot of delays. So, of course, one of the biggest disadvantages of bureaucracy in this particular situation is the delay in terms of disbursement of suppliers, what here? Suppliers, payments, which has led to closure of businesses. They have bankrupted businesses here. They have bankrupted businesses. So first of all, are we in agreement? Are we in agreement? Are we in agreement that we should not write? We should not write much here. We should not write much here so that we can move with speed. Bureaucracy, ladies and gentlemen, will lead to a demotivated workforce. And remember, good answers in terms of case question, they must keep on talking of points which are in the case. Demotivated workers don't like dictators, right? Here I'll be able to quote especially the wife who is interfering, the wife of the governor who is interfering with the management. So in this case here, demotivated or workers will automatically lead to what here? Low productivity. Great. So I'm still waiting for points from you people as well, so that I can also get to, yes, we have the concept of what here? Slowness in decision making. Slowness in decision making. We have the concept of rigidity in the process of making what here? Decisions, to the extent that this now guy is going to always consult the wife, right? I'm not getting as many answers as I thought I would get from you guys. Techniques of passing this paper. I thought, John, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. Right? Because the case question, I would want you to know that case question cannot come automatically from your from your notes. They basically need what here? They basically need you to appreciate the general rules. You see, like now here, they tested us on this concept of what here? Max Weber bureaucracy. So this time around, of course, chances are your case question may be tied with who? With Fayol. Maybe tied with Fayol, Henry Fayol. Maybe tied with Henry Fayol, right? So of course, they will give you like a big case question. They'll talk about indisciplined workers. Workers in this case here were not able to follow even simple procedures, simple rules and regulations on time management, right? So of course here, if it's Henry Fayol, I'll be forced to remember the 14 principles. The 14 principles of management, right? Which I've already shown you how to cram this. I know you must be knowing this. Dad, you see, USSR. Yes, and then you mention what here? OIC, right? So out of this, I'll be able to get so many points. Like I know this D is disciplined workers. I know this D is division of what here? Work. So when they come in the case question, they tell you that there is one individual who is a jack of all trades, who is doing it. This guy is in finance, he's in procurement. We need guys here to specialize, right? I should be able to pick that very fast, right? We have the concept of what here? Remuneration. So like automatically, like just like here in terms of bureaucracy, when they talk of situations where employees are not being paid, right? An aspect of remuneration, of course, the management principles here will collapse. There'll be a lot of theft. There'll be a lot of corruption in the county government because a man must survive, right? So these are the kind of things you keep on mentioning, and they are similar. I've never seen any different, very different, really question. Like there must be order, right? Order involves what? Order involves internal controls. The same case with bureaucracy, ladies and gentlemen. If it is one man who is calling the shots, of course, internal controls are poor. And when internal controls are poor, automatically we expect a lot of siphonage of county government funds. And once they have siphoned like this, of course, we are able to see the outcome on the other side. The outcome in this case here will be the things you are seeing there. The motivated workforce who are not able to get salaries. We have in this case here automatically businesses, suppliers who are not able to get their invoices being honored, right? So we need to be just good in this general management principles. Once you are good in the general management principles, then you will be able to apply them very, very easily. You'll be able to apply them very, very easily. Remember, apart from the 14 principles, Henry Fayol, we are also looking at what we call the 5 functions of management. 5 functions of management. So under 5 functions of management, we are looking at the POCC, the POC, POCC like that. Remember, when you are employed as a manager, you'll see on your contract, you'll be required here to do a lot of work, a lot of planning for resources, coming up with budgets, etc. Right? So if, for example, they tell you that this is a case of county, of course, they can't bring again the case of a county government. You are seeing automatically, ladies and gentlemen, that there are no budgets. Budgets are not being followed. Then I should be able to quote Henry Fayol. Automatically, by quoting Henry Fayol in this, even if I don't mention his name, right? When I'm able to pick those points using now this Henry Fayol's major functions of management, automatically I'll have shown broad and a deep understanding of the subject. Nobody can deny you marks to survive, right? Like here, I'm able to see straight away, this particular guy is not a good communicator. When you hear something here, straight away, you're running to consult your wife. What about, it's supposed to be communication between you as a leader and the organizational employees. So I can see communication here has a problem. Of course, this is a person who is not even in control, the concept of control. So once I come across these kind of things and I'm able to relate them to the fathers of management, then I can never go wrong. So fathers of management, we shall be able to spare like a lesson to basically take you through, Please, could you kindly confirm that you have already gotten this answer? If you're in the paid group, please confirm that this answer I'll give you for the last 4 sittings. Once you master the 4 sittings, then automatically you can't go wrong. So we have here leadership August, L and M. August, yes. So first of all, confirm. Confirm that you've gotten the paper, you've been able to see the paper. So I should be able to send the others. Right? So if you received yes, so you should be able to at least use this. Have I sent the correct one really? No. The one that I've sent there is AFM. But even the AFM one, I suppose, is helpful to you people, isn't it? Even the AFM one. Or should I delete it? Should I delete the AFM one? Should I delete the AFM one? So we have here. Now I can see people transferring, I can see people transferring the AFM very fast before I delete it. Very good. Now confirm. Oh, I sent to the AFM paid. Yes. No, I can't send to AFM paid because, this is leadership and management. You haven't paid us for this paper, isn't it? I suppose maybe you are studying this paper elsewhere. The one that I'll be able to send to you guys is the AFM solution. I'll send the AFM solution to the AFM group. Okay, so Lucy, I've sent this to the leadership and management group. So have you gotten it? Have you gotten now the leadership? Have you gotten the leadership paper? Have you gotten the leadership paper? They are not talking to me now. They are not talking to me. Great. So then what I would suggest, ladies and gentlemen, because of time and I happen to be having another class, I would suggest that you go through those answers very well. And then if possible, tomorrow, I don't know what is the best time that I should be able to come and pick this thing with you for free again. I want to give you free short classes. Tomorrow, what time? You go through the answer and the questions, so that when I come here and we talk of visionary leadership, a visionary leader is a good communicator. A visionary leader should be able to, of course, dream. It was asked here. And know how to actualize that dream through the team. A visionary leader knows how to get things done by others through proper supervision, planning, etc. He knows how to motivate staff, right? So Timothy says 9 a.m. I'm quite free in the, how I wish all of them will be available, can be available at that time, 9 a.m. 9 a.m. 9 a.m. Is that okay? Is that okay? Is that okay? 9 a.m. Ah, great. 9 a.m. So I'll be able to send the link. But most importantly, no. Most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, 9 a.m. is okay. So many guys are so free here. Most importantly, ensure that you go through the questions and the answers. Through those questions and the answers. And then now, for this particular class of mine, the students who have not paid us, the students who have not paid, the students who are not in the LM paid, the students who are not in the LM paid, for me to be able to discuss these great points apart from tomorrow's free class, these students here should be able to pay us something small. They should be able to pay us something small, like how much? We can't give you these great skills here for free. We can't give, we have bills to pay, unfortunately. I wish it was a free thing. We charge the students who are not in the leadership and management August paid group. The ones who would want to come and join Dr. Aura's last mile leadership and management classes. We charge them how much? We charge them how much? 1,500. Watalipa saizi kweli? Utapata wanafunzi kweli? Watalipa ama tuwacharge kidogo? Kumbuka we are charging 2,200 at the moment. 2,200 at the moment. Let's charge them 1,500. Let's charge them 1,500. But I hope mtalipa ndio tupate numbers mzuri. Wanafunzi kama 50. Wanafunzi kama 50 wakuje jameni. Wameanza kuenda to 1,000. Wameanza kuenda to 1,000. Angalia wanafunzi hawa. Wameanza kuenda to 1,000 shillings. Hiyo ata afford. Hiyo ata afford ama tupeleke lower. Hiyo ata afford kweli. Hiyo ata afford kweli. 500. The very best, ladies and gentlemen, let's set it at 1,200. 1,200, this is our pay bill. This is our pay bill, 402-956-9. Account number is your name. Once you pay, you send the payment message to 0719-525,000. 0719-525,000. You see, like the other semester, they brought us this matrix. I hope you guys have been able to take a screenshot of this. Right? So we have organizational structures. The other semester, they brought something to do with what here, matrix-based. Is there somebody who knows? Is there somebody who happens to be knowing what matrix-based structure is? And a matrix-based structure, 900 times 50, 45,000. 45,000, eh? Have they taken this information? Listen, and the matrix-based, we have implemented a matrix-based structure where I work. It's very effective. So in this case here, we'll have what we call functional managers. Functional managers, right? So for example, we have here head of finance. We have here, for example, head of marketing. So here we have people who are reporting to these guys directly. So we have A, we have B, reporting to these guys directly, right? But you see, if it happens like that, listen to me very well. In most cases, the finance manager may not be having enough work for this employee, right? And that is why you need to implement what we call matrix-based. And a matrix-based, remember how a matrix looks like. Remember how a matrix looks like A, B, C, we have D, E, F, like that. So these are rows, and then we have columns like that. So under matrix-based, if it's this employee here, employee, he'll be having his functional manager like the finance, head of finance here. And then row-wise, he'll be having a project manager. So like now in my place of work, we normally talk of every time you go, for example, when I report back on Monday, I must look at who do I report up to? Have I done his reports? Is there any project manager laterally I report to as well? I'm supposed to do his reports. So matrix-based, ladies and gentlemen, organizational structure will have each employee having to report to two managers. We have, for example, a functional manager and a project manager on this other side. On this other side, like that. Great, great. So is there somebody who has been able to pick something out of this matrix-based? Is there somebody who has been able to pick something out of this matrix-based? Yeah, and the matrix, you can even draw something like this and show that this employee has got, we have here the functional manager, and then we have what here? The project manager here, for example. So you are reporting to two leaders in the organization. It has got its own unique advantages. The advantages, like if it's an international organization, anybody who is working for an international organization here, you'll always know that they really know how to utilize their workers, their employees, especially people who are working with the big four like PwC. You can't, these guys are very clever. So you're being manned by two people without knowing. There's a person writing to you an email here, and that is why you get most employees who are working with these big fours. They always go home with their laptop. Why? Because the kind of work, this matrix-based will ensure that you have a lot of workload that you can handle. You know, when you have got one manager, like if, for example, this guy is your friend, he'll not be giving you enough work. But when you are reporting now to too many leaders, at the end of the day, then there is what here? There is a lot of pressure to come. You are required to do this report, etc., 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 etc. Now, like last semester, I'm surprised they asked students a very simple question here. Is it last semester or last semester? But I think last semester. That question came last semester. They asked students to differentiate between a program and a project. They asked students here to differentiate between a program and a project. And I can tell you, at times I simply go around when these papers are being marked to simply just have a feeling of how students are doing. So students in this case here, because they don't read newspapers, very few students could differentiate. I had a lot of marks. Very few students could differentiate this. Very few students, right? Remember, if you go to the United Nations, you'll get that they have a charter of programs. Like UNDP has got 5 programs it runs in Kenya here. For example, they have a program on security. They have a program on security. These guys have a program on HIV and AIDS. They're running UNDP, HIV and AIDS. They have a program on climate, sustainability reporting, etc. You see, a program is long-term. It's huge, right? And at the end of the day, with the programs, how they run in the NGOs, programs, we shall be looking at the general benefit to the society. The program basically is quite aligned with the vision of the company. Long-termism, it's a long-term thing. Like you can imagine, since UNDP came to Kenya, they've been having this program for the longest time ever, But now within this program, because of the magnitude, you can't start working on a program the way it is. You must break it down to what we call projects. Projects. Remember, projects, ladies and gentlemen, must have a definite start and ending time. A project, start and ending time. Very, very important. And in most cases, of course, they are short term. We would want you to deliver this project in the short time as possible, right? So we have deliverables. So this project will be able to come, for example, under HIV, somebody who is working with this UN. Could you kindly give me some of the projects that are here? What kind of projects do they bring here? The projects. Is there somebody who could be knowing these things? You need to know them, because one of the fine days you'll get yourself being interviewed for these positions. Any project that you guys are aware of that UNDP does under this program? Okay, let me first of all forget about that. Could you kindly give me three features of a project? Features of a project, three features of a project. Please give me those features. Non-routine. Thank you very much. Who is this? They don't even have a name. Non-routine. So if it is routine, then that is not a project. So like, for example, in our case where I work, like right now, we have a project of implementing IFRS 17. Of course, us, we are a group accounting software company, right? Which also has a IFRS programs, right? So of course, if the IFRSs we've been working with for so long, they will no longer be called projects. So right now we have a new IFRS that has come. So this new IFRS that has come, it's called IFRS 17, insurance contracts, right? So now we are doing it for what year? For insurance companies, because insurance companies must implement this by beginning of 2023. All of them should implement this. Like right now we are doing for CIC and AAR, right? So you see now, because this is something that has not been done by the company before, we must appoint a team. And this team that we appoint, of course, we have not been doing this, so it's non-routine. We must give them deliverables. We must come up with what we call a project plan, right? We shall start from here to here. These are the tasks involved, and these are the deliverables. I love this. There must be scope. A project must have scope, resources, and time scheduling. Great. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. The benefit is received at the end of the project. If, for example, the project was to die at the middle, then there is no benefit at all. There's no benefit at all. There's no benefit at all. So these are the kind of things you're supposed to be thinking about. So like in that answer, you'll be able to get very good arguments, differences between programs and projects, programs and projects. You'll be able to see those differences with this kind of explanation. I believe now you'll be able to break this down so easily. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please listen here. The other thing that I discovered many students do not know, like the actors, steps of decision making, the steps to be followed when making decisions, steps to be followed when making decisions. Which steps in this case here will you follow when you are making decisions? Of course, here there is no straightforward answer. Anything you put across here, so long as it is logical, will be able to earn you a mark. Assuming we have got a young person who is not married here, is it easy for me to see a person who is not married here? Not easy, really. They can't tell us now. So assuming, Jerome, forgive me, Millie, yes. So Macharia, yes. Macharia is easier. Macharia, I know Macharia very well. He's a young man, great. He's a young man, not that I know him physically, but when Najib Maswali, I'm able to tell this is a young man with a bright future. Now, assuming Macharia wants to marry today, so the very first thing Macharia will have to do, he has to define the problem. So problem, there must be a problem. You don't just sit like this and then you say you want to go and get somebody's daughter for a wife. There must be a problem, which you must put down very well. What is the problem? Is it companionship, right? Do you want to bring, in this case here, somebody's daughter, and then you start putting them down as who? As slaves. What is the major problem? What is making you to think about marriage? Define the problem so that some of us can come and advise you, tell you that Macharia, even in terms of age, you are 26. At the age of 26, don't be thinking, your age mates are not thinking about wives. Yeah, we'll be able to advise. So there must be problem definition. So define the problem. So problem definition here. Very, very important. This is very important. After that, of course, now you have defined you would want to marry. You know, saying that I would want to marry, even that one by itself is a problem you have defined. What is the time? What is the time? What is the time? What is the time? Do I have the time? Oh, we shall overcome. So number two, of course, in this case here, you must come and list alternatives. Give us the various alternatives that you have. So assuming Macharia is saved, of course, Macharia should be courting how many girls if he is saved? He should be courting like 4 of them. Courtship, if he is saved. If not saved, it can even be 10. Right. So 4 of them. And remember, these are general friends. These are general friends. So from there, you'll come and analyze the alternatives. Analyze the alternatives. I can see you guys know. You analyze the alternatives. And of course, the best way of analyzing the alternatives is to use net present value. Who would want to marry nowadays a liability? Nobody. I would want to marry a lady whose net present value is positive, right? NPV. So I'm using NPV criteria, right? Then we have, of course, you'll get others coming to tell you like choose the analysis model and then analyze. And then number 4, in this case here, go and do what you have somebody here, you select. You select the one who has the highest NPV. After selecting before you implement, you must come and do what we call a what-if analysis. So what if, for example, this lady has a negative net present value, she has a negative net present value, but she happens to be confessing salvation, she saved. Do you think that is an important attribute? Is that an important attribute? She has a negative NPV, no job, etc. Costs are high. She doesn't want to eat together in the house, but she saved. She saved. She saved. She saved. Salvation. So under what-if analysis, what you are told, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, you must look at the qualitative aspects. Qualitative aspects. Those things that you can't quantify. This lady has got a negative NPV, but she's beautiful. She's very beautiful. She's very beautiful. She's very beautiful. Is that something that you can consider, gentlemen? Is that something you can consider? David is very honest. He's saying yes. Jeriot is saying yes. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. Lenny, why do you say no? Why do you say no, Lenny? We shall overcome. So, of course, once you now tie in the loose ends here and there, after the what-if analysis, now you need to do what here? You need to implement and then ensure that you control to realize, or rather to get now a permanent solution to your problem. Control must be there. So you implement and ensure that things are in control for you to get a permanent solution to your problem. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, you will come and implement here. After you implement right away, unasikia tena after 3-5 weeks, Macharia tena kuna mpango ya kando. Kumbe nyinyi mnapenda leadership sana. I've never seen a subject where wanafunzi wamekaa 70, hawataki kutoka. Hata nikiendelea, chances are most of them may say no to advanced financial management. Thank you so much. I forgot this. This is very important. This thing of, because some of you may never see me again. Some of you may never see me again here. This thing of Excel, advanced Excel. So we have advanced Excel, Power BI. We have the famous R programming language. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would want to teach all of this. Actually, there is another one that I've forgotten. I would want to teach all of this from 10th of December. From 10th of December 2022, right? It will be a 3 weeks program. 3 weeks program, because what we are realizing, you know, the data analytics syllabus is a very wide thing. Data analytics syllabus is a very wide thing. It has got all these things. So instead of waiting until January, you start doing data analytics, we'd want to give you some of the skills quite early, so that when we come now to the semester, you will not be struggling with Excel. You will not be struggling with the pivot tables. You will not be struggling with like Locexcel F4, right? So this is an important course that we shall be charging 8,000 if you come to pay here. But remember, now we have what we call early birds, which most of you are able to take advantage of our first early bird. Lakini wengi mmechelewa. Now the existing early bird is 5,000 shillings. And this existing early bird of 5,000 shillings, it's gonna limit. I think it's next week, Friday. So please, for you to be able to ask about all this, don't hesitate getting in touch with our admin, 0719 525,000. 0719 525,000. That is the number you should call. Don't ignore. And remember, you're not doing this thing just for the exam. Some of us were able to get jobs with international companies simply because of like Power BI. How do you tell me that you are an effective accountant and yet you don't appreciate what we call visualization? You don't even have Power BI in your laptop. You need to be having these things. You get from Excel, you import to Power BI. Power BI, when you change one variable, you're able to see how those things change. So as an accountant, you'll be able to have a better grasp, better hold on your numbers. When somebody asks you, how is the EPS? EPS last year was 10 bob, right? How did you build it up to 10 bob? You'll be able to explain, we had this percentage cost savings, we had this revenues going up, etc, etc, and then you'll be able to overcome. So ladies and gentlemen, this is it. I'm looking forward to teaching you leadership and management, and these courses, they're very important. If you would want to get like a whole program for this, call us. This is our number. Thank you very much. Each is 5K. No, this Resh man must be a very, very rich person. I need to talk to him or her, this Resh guy. The 5K covers everything. But if you pay before 21st, if you pay before 21st, if you pay before 21st, if you pay 21st, if you pay before 21st. So nimekubali, okay, let me discuss with my team, and then we should be able to get back to you on WhatsApp. Thank you. Bye. Be blessed. Msome kwa bidii. Are you doing December intake after exams? After exams, utalipa, no problem. Ukija after exams, utalipa 8,000. And you know, if you have been with us, we don't extend our early birds. Kama sayo early bird next, itakuwa 6,000. By the time unamaliza exam, ndio kuje hapa, utalipa hii. So to avoid that, take advantage of early bird. Take advantage of early bird. Somebody in this case here is asking whether Lenny, no. We can't accept Lenny. We can't accept you missed the bus. You missed the bus of 4,000. Mwingine najua mwalimu unajua kila subject. Hiyo ndio na private chat hapa. Yes, during my time, of course, I got 6 awards with CASNEB. 6 of them. 6 of them, right? Even when I was doing ACC, I got so many awards. Not because I'm bright. It's because I know how to plan. Like most of you, for those guys that I'm teaching like AFM, if you look at my WhatsApp, exactly 4 a.m. every day, I'm always up. I'm always up. So I'm doing many things. I'm still a student this semester. This semester, I'm doing a very important course. I should stop here.